This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Friday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, SiriusXM channel 158. Gil Alexander, alongside to my left, to your right, Kelly Midland in the house. What's happening?
Not much. You threw me off a little bit with the to my left, to your right.
Oh,
I had to double check that. You're right. It's always confusing.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cross you up.
You're good, man. Don't worry. It won't be the first time.
I called
today.
a fastball. It's a change up. On the show today, great Friday show. You know what this means. Fezzik Fridays. A little later on, Steve Fezzik will join us. He's got a lot on his mind. He's got things to say.
Steve?
Yeah, he's got things to say. By the way, you know, he sends us some stuff. None of the stuff he sent us was Wishnev slander, which was pretty interesting.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Now, let's not remind him. Let's not say it out loud.
Well, he's got 17 topics, and there's a few I'm really interested in.
And then there's a few that I'm like, he's spitballing some.
How much should I produce, Fezzik? That's the question.
We'll see where it goes. Yeah. See where it goes. Stormy Bonatoni. Forget Fezzik. Stormy's joining us. Stormy's joining us to talk Stanley Cup playoffs a little later on as the Hurricanes win again. 7-0 to start the Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, I've sort of gone with this 85 Oilers thing from the beginning. They won 9 to start the playoffs. Hurricanes are 7-0. Avalanche 6-0. That's where we stand right now.
It's incredible.
They're getting there, both of those teams. In a sport, the reason I bring it up, of course, is because it's a sport where the playoffs are random, more random by far than the NBA. So for that to happen is pretty incredible, not with one, but two teams. We'll talk to Stormy about that. And, of course, Chris Felica, all of his bets. We were counting up all the sports that we have Felica. You know, Felica has chimed in on during the show. We counted 11 again. We might be missing out on something random.
I'm sure we are, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's so many that I was kind of chuckling at you two trying to add them all up. Because I'm like, I don't think we're going to get them all.
He's got plays across sports today, including a special numbers game investigation reveals that the WNBA season is ready to tip off. So he's got some season longs in the WNBA. You excited?
Yes.
I'm excited.
I am too. I'll just be honest. They've done such a good job promoting it.
Yeah.
That I've been so locked in, obviously, NBA, NHL, Stanley Cup playoffs going on. It's you could have told me the league or the season started a week ago, or it started in a week, and I wouldn't know.
Just make up stuff.
Because they've been promoting. They've been promoting the hell out of it.
The season started so long ago. You've missed it.
Okay, no. That I would have known.
No, he's got plays, WNBA and beyond. And then, of course, we'll talk soccer with Paul Carr. He'll join us as well. We have a couple other things we want to talk about, one of which is ready for this in terms of nuanced baseball bets. From the show that gives you monthlies and the race to 10 to start March, April, and all that. How about the race to 10 in May?
Bum, bum, bum.
Danny found the prop bet yesterday on DraftKings. The race to 10 in May, where some teams already have 7 wins and 6 wins. And 5 and 4, you get the idea. We'll get into that as well. And then UFC, I believe, a little later on. We hope.
We have some picks. Jordan Sherwood would not be with us today.
Is Rob Moreno going to be with us?
Rob Moreno will not be with us today.
Like I said, we'll have UFC picks later. There goes all that prep work, all that pronunciation work I was doing before the show.
Come on, let's get a Gil Alexander breakdown.
Yeah, right. I'll give you UFC picks. Of course, we'll look at the Killer Sports Challenge update as well. Real quick, tennis. I didn't think we were going to have any matches this morning because I thought they were all going to start already, but we do have 2 that have yet to go. So 0-1 in the overnight. We lost on Wang Xinyu. Plus 109 versus our girl Alexandra Ayala. What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What am I doing fading the Filipina sensation Ayala?
I was going to say, we screwed up the graphic. There's no way that Gil went against Ayala.
I will tell you this. After what happened yesterday on the show.
That was brutal.
There was a chance I wasn't going to play tennis tonight. But I am. We have 2 left to go here.
Oh, can I try this one, Gil?
Please.
Damir Dzumhur.
That's close. Yeah, Damir Dzumhur. That's right.
Okay.
Plus 130 versus the American Lerner Tien. Wouldn't do this on hards, but on clay, totally different story. Dzumhur plus 130 versus Tien is the play on the men's side. By the way, Stevie's friend who sent the video, and he wants me to give men, women, and then where they are. So this is the men's match. They're only playing in Rome. And then on the ladies' side, our Turkish girl who we've backed many times to success. We're actually playing a total here. Zeynep Sanmez versus our girl Jessie Pegula. Over 19.5 games. I actually think Sanmez will give her a match here. And Pegula hasn't played a lot. She won in Charleston on the fake clay when clay first started this year on the hard true.
The good stuff.
But she hasn't really played since, which is normal, right? For a big-time player to skip and just sort of reserve her energy. But I like this to go over 19.5 games. Sanmez and Pegula, that one has not started yet either, but they're about to. Both the Zumhur and Sanmez-Pegula matches. So those are your tennis plays. NBA last night. Remember how yesterday, so 24 hours ago, I said to you on the show, you could go back and check the tape, I was like, yesterday morning I said, is there anything, if we rolled back to Tuesday morning, would we say anything different about these two games we're about to go tonight, meaning last night? And we were both kind of like, not really. And I'm glad we had that little exchange because these games were almost exactly the same.
Also, okay, yeah, yes, that, and you know what? All I was thinking heading in today. So excited to say this. This is like, it's like play the hits of the NBA playoffs. Let's play the hits. Gil, would you like to start with James Harden turnover issues,
oh my God,
or for like the 22nd time this season? Coach X and Team X cannot stand the Oklahoma City Thunder defending and have to go crazy about it both during and after the game.
Kelly is not at all emotional about any of this.
I'm really not. I'm very entertained by that. I was not involved in either side last night.
Cavs-Pistons. The first game was Pistons 111-101, I believe. This one was 107-97. So almost the exact same score, by the way. Pistons cover the 3.5-point spread. It does go under the total of 214.5. Cavs led 3-0, then never again until the fourth quarter. Pistons went on a 14-2 run. They went up 14-5. They built an 11-point lead later in the first quarter. They led by 7 at the end of the first. They led by 14 at one point in the second, led by 11 at the half. Now, the Cavs chipped away at the lead methodically in the third. They got it to within one, a 28-18 start to the quarter, so 72-71. They trailed by 4, 79-75 at the end of 3. Fourth quarter, Cavs scored the first 6. They took their first lead since that 3-0 lead at 81-79. And this again kind of mirrors exactly what happened in Game 1, where it's like, how are the Cavs in this?
And finally, they're making a run. Yeah. Finally, the Cavs offense showing up.
And then Detroit immediately retook the lead, extended it to 9 on a Cade 3, a 22-11 run, 101-92 with 2:12 left. Strus foul, dead ball, Mitchell hits a free throw, Allen layup, cut it to 101-95. But then a Thompson tip-in, Mitchell 2 free throws, 103-97. A Detroit shot clock violation. So Kelly was portending this moment here. 103-97 Detroit. Cleveland with the ball. Harden dribbles in traffic, stolen by Thompson. In essence, ball game with less than a minute. Duren fouled, hits both. Academic from there. 107-97. Mitchell 31 in defeat. Harden 10 points on 3 of 13 shooting. 0 for 4 from behind the arc. He had 4 turnovers. That is the 30th career playoff game. Let's get this stat. I was killing Craig Carton earlier in the week because he messed up the stat and it went viral. The actual stat is this. That is the 30th career playoff game where Harden has had more turnovers than field goals made.
And if you add up Game 1 and Game 2, it is 9 field goals made, 11 turnovers.
That is not good. Cade, 25 with 10 assists. All you need to know with this game, really, besides Harden, Harden with that final assist, just because he's had the career of these playoff games with more turnovers than field goals made. But the 3-point stats, right? Cleveland 7 of 32, 21.9%. Detroit 14 of 28 for 50%. That's it. Detroit takes a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 series. And Cleveland again gets to say, well, we haven't played on our home court yet, so there you go. All they did was hold serve. That's what they would say.
That's what they would say. I'll add on 2 more I found interesting, and this one I heard on the Hoop Collective coming in this morning, and Tim Bontemps brought this up. This is another damning Harden stat. Because, wait, we brought it up yesterday. Is there a point when they start to think about benching him? And it is a big-time name to have that conversation with or about. And look, they kind of even went shorter off the bench, only played 9 guys last night. So maybe it's not something they're thinking about at all. But the turnovers everybody's been talking about. On defense last night, 7 guys, 7 drives that he defended last night, all 7 of them, it resulted in field goals by that offensive player. That is something that doesn't happen. It's that bad.
You brought it up yesterday. Does Kenny Atkinson have the stomach to do that?
I don't know. It's something you got to consider because it's the combination. It's the combination of everything. You're not a good defender already. If you're going to keep turning the ball over, you're turning the ball over against a team that lives off of turnovers. This is how they drive their offense. It's a perfect storm of problems. And then the only other thing that Cleveland relies a lot on three-point shooting, a lot on their stars, Gil. They had 7 total shot attempts at the rim. Like, they're not even getting to the rim. They're not trying to get to the rim. It's bad. It's bad.
Any interest in Cleveland plus 380 adjusted season series price?
No, I'm right there with you now, man. Like I'll say what I said yesterday out this Cavs team. I might end up back on them. I've got these series bets for them to win, and 6 win and 7. I guess are still alive. As far as betting them game for on a game or in a series, I got to see something out of this team first, and you are not seeing anything to give you any confidence right now.
Yeah. By the way, a little sports talk radio redux here in the last 30 seconds. Kelly and I said yesterday, does Kenny Atkinson have the stomach to bench the Hall of Famer that is James Harden? And somebody pushed back on us yesterday, like, Hall of Famer? Are you kidding? I was like, oh, he's a total Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. He's absolutely a Hall of Famer. Just look at this Hall of Fame class this year.
Right, yeah.
Harden is absolutely a Hall of Famer. Loved his game when he was younger. Just when he was at Arizona State and with OKC, he was just a unique player that just played the game right, played it differently. And then he just got into this mode where he's like, well, all I have to do is do this step back stuff and draw fouls, and it's just aesthetically unpleasing basketball. And
so I've always understood why people didn't like that, but I respect that too because he took the next step of evolving his game, and that was how he became such a high level scorer and an MVP.
Both Eastern Conference series now 2-0. Knicks over the Sixers, Pistons over the Cavs. We'll talk about the Lakers and the Thunder last night. Second verse, same as the first. Next on A Numbers Game right here at VSiN.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on Friday's episode of Money Moves, a trio of fantastic guests. Will Hill and Zach Cohn will stop by, give us their thoughts on the weekend. Zach's got a really strong angle on this player prop for the association schedule. That evening, Mike Palm will check in. We get two with the big guy, get some best bets in the National Hockey League. Anaheim and Vegas resume their series on Friday night, as does Montreal and Buffalo. Really like this angle in this series. We'll tell you what it is. It's Money Moves, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Don't forget about the website when all this is going on. Now at VSiN.com, Greg Peterson's MLB Best Bets, Tyler Shoemaker's WNBA projections and plays, and UFC 328 predictions, and the First Strike podcast coming later today. Daily Racing Forum weekend horse racing picks. Felika's got some horse racing picks coming up on the show later. Zach Cohen's NBA Best Bets and Jonathan Davis's best NHL plays and props. And right now, get 14 months of VSiN Pro for only $199 with promo code PRO. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe today. We get tweets, beat of the book. Have I mentioned how awesome you guys are? Best listeners in the game.
Faux show.
It's not even close. I'll start with one from last night. No Emu Doug. After the OKC game, he goes, I thought it was height and three-point shooting that made OKC so good. I'm not a player, so I didn't notice that it is the refs that make them so good, per JJ Redick. He should know. Yeah, the Lakers were not happy with the officiating. They even had a huddle with the officials right after the game yesterday. Did you see this?
Yeah.
OKC wins by 18. And Austin Reeves is lecturing the officials.
Okay, so
and LeBron is behind him going, yeah.
So apparently there are a couple. I think that's a separate issue, which I'm going to have from all reports. I'll have Austin Reeves back with. I guess one of the officials had gotten his face over a jump ball.
Oh, so
Austin Reeves, from all reporting that I read, waited till after the game. He didn't want to do it during the game, but then had some choice words for that official about why are you getting in my face basically on a play.
Well, he has every right to do that.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. But then, of course, then there was the other stuff.
Well, OKC was getting a big kick out of it. They were like looking over, like, what's that all about?
Because they know when these guys go to complain to the media afterward, you're in their heads. You're already the best perimeter defense we've seen in years, and then you're living rent free in every one of these coaches and players' heads that come into the arena and complain about the officiating nonstop.
Mark Bono, or Bono, it's Bono, excuse me, Mark, whichever way, at Fila 76 or at Fila 76. To go along with your expert tennis picks, well, let's let these win today before we call them that, but thank you. Gil, we have Sir David Attenborough, who turns 100 today. He is responsible for the introduction of yellow tennis balls. As a BBC executive in the 60s and 70s, he realized traditional white tennis balls were invisible against grass on new color television, prompting the move to fluorescent optic yellow to improve the viewer experience, which the ITF approved in 1972. When color television was introduced to Wimbledon in 1967, the traditional white balls were hard to see on screen. Thank you for that, Mark Bono.
There we go.
It's very nice. David Attenborough, 100 years old today. Wow. Okay. Scrabble Star's checking in. He's very pedantic when it comes to the use of the language. Scrabble Star.
What'd I screw up this time?
Remember Scrabble? Not you. He says, Gil, I listened on delay yesterday and heard your attempt to justify using the term positive regression. Let's be clear. I didn't use it. I was defending somebody else who did. He said, ouch. Regression, by definition, is negative in every situation. Positive regression simply isn't a thing. Oxymoron, sure, but not a thing. So let's be clear. I was defending somebody else, and it was against somebody else saying he should be using progression, that word alone. So my point was that positive regression was actually a better descriptor of what they were trying to convey than positive regression was. But even I said at the time, which you are omitting strategically, that the better term is regression to the mean. Good try, Scrabble Star, but I got you there. This is from, I always enjoy the detailed English teachers, though, on the show. And Scrabble Star, I would not want to play you in Scrabble, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. James Sott. Harden hasn't been able to beat anyone but Duncan Robinson off the dribble a couple times in game one. He looks like an old 36 now. And I think he needs to play off the ball now because no way Atkinson has the stones to bench him. Yeah, I don't think so either.
You know what play really stuck out to me? I think it was second quarter. I'm not even really sure though. It was a Cavs break, and Harden was out in front of everybody. They got it up to him, and it was like Cade was the only guy that could get back, and Harden, like, instead of attacking the rim, just he went like he was going to. Saw Cade was just close enough and just pulled it out. And I was like, oh, man, that's tough to watch.
Shrek McPhee, anyone saying Harden's not a Hall of Famer's brain dead? Houston, years alone, he'd be an absolutely insane run he had. Mm-hmm. There's no question.
He's the 9th all-time leading scorer in the NBA.
That's all you need to know. Top 10 scorer in NBA history. Ryan Hyatt, Dump Button Friday should be epic this week when Fezzik has his rebuttal to, well, everyone. At least At least Gil and Kelly don't have to worry about Stormy going rogue today. You never know. You never know. Stormy can get fired up about something. Jed O'Connor going out on a limb here and saying Darius Garland would have put a better 10-6-3. Harden should be pulling splinters out of his cheeks from sitting on the pine. Yeah, 10-6-3 is the Harden average, I guess. Chris Heath, let's see. Chris Heath wants us to ask Greg Peterson a question on Monday. I won't be here, but you guys can. I scour Greg Peterson's sides and totals for all games every day, and something that's apparent is that his best bets are really his largest edges. You got to ask about that. And Jason H11, I never thought I'd see a sport with more complaining about officiating than soccer, but welcome NBA. You're the biggest bunch of crybabies in all of sport. If I only had $1 every time a player or coach throws up his arms to complain. It is a bit much. And again, Lakers fans will hate me for this. I think the Lakers might be the biggest offenders. Offenders of that. But I will say this about the Lakers. For the second straight game, they were way better than I thought they'd be.
Yes.
They were great. You know, as great as they can be. Thunder led 7-0. You thought the game was over right from the outset. They led 27-16, but the Lakers closed the quarter on a 7-0 run of their own to cut it to 27-23. OKC led by 8, 39-31 in the second, but a 15-6 Lakers run gave LA the lead 46-45, dogfight till the end of the quarter, 58-57 Lakers at the half. If you had the Lakers money line first half, cha-ching. Third quarter, Lakers went up by as many as 5. Remember in game 1 it was 69-65, or it was like a 4-point lead for OKC at that point. Well, this game, it was a lead for the Lakers. They went up 5 in the third quarter, 69-64, but then here came OKC. That was the end of that. A 22-5 run put the Thunder back up 86-74. They led by 13 at the end of the quarter, 93-80. And then in the fourth, the Lakers did make a little run, 95-82 OKC. Lakers went on a 7-0 run to cut it to 95-89. But at 99-94, OKC goes back with an 8-0 run of their own, 107-94 with under 6 minutes to play. They built it from there. They led by as many as 20, and they win by 18 and cover the number of 15.5, exactly how they ended up covering it, with a late flourish, really, against the Lakers in Game 1. That's that. Reeves, 31 in defeat, 10 of 16 from the field, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. Shea with 22, Chet with 22, A.J. Mitchell with 20, Jared McCain with 18. You weren't in here yesterday when I said this. How does Daryl Morey give up Jared McCain for a bad 1 and 3 twos?
Dude, it was... I mean, we said it the day after it happened. You're like, what? Like, you know, the Oklahoma City Thunder do not need more help.
Lakers, 20 turnovers. OKC with 12 steals and 5 blocks. I just, you know, again, I'll say this about the Lakers. Good on the Lakers. They play really well here without Luka these first 2 games. And by the way, Shea had 18 in the first game, and what did I say? 22 in this one.
He was in foul trouble throughout the game.
Shea has 40 combined. It's not a strange thing to see him score 40 in one game. And yet the Thunder have covered massive numbers both of the first 2 games. I guess, you know, everybody, it seemed on the broadcast, was looking for silver linings for the Lakers, so I guess we'll look for one here. They're going back home. We still don't know about Luka. Mm-hmm. Did you give him any shot at winning a game here back in L.A.?
Yeah.
Forget about covering, winning.
I'll give him a shot, but it's you know, it's kind of what we said the last couple of days. I don't really know what else I can say, though, right? Like, Shea, what else they can do, right? Like, I think from the beginning it was, I mean, look, I really never said they were going to have a chance unless Luka was back, and if Luka's not back, I still don't think they really do, but...
Lakers 26-1 if you're interested in them coming back and winning the series.
But you would first go to, like, these stars have to be amazing for the Lakers, and so far they have been. I know it was a dud game 1 for Austin Reeves, but, like, we kind of talked about that on the show yesterday. I thought it was a little too much how much crap he was getting for a bad game 1 with just coming back from the injury. But him and LeBron combined for 54 points yesterday. Like, that's great, but the problem is it's not enough. It's not nearly enough.
Tonight, we have Game 3 in Philly. We head to Philly for the first time. Knicks Sixers. Sixers favored by 1.5 in Game 3, down 2-0 in that series. And then San Antonio. I thought Zach had an interesting comment yesterday. He was like, I don't understand the lines in the series. Spurs are 5-point favorites. They've actually taken a little money. 5-point favorites on the road against the T-Wolves tonight. That series not up at 1 game apiece.
Oh, but both of these spreads are aggressive right now for where they're sitting. I mean, you're talking about Knicks 76ers, like I said it on the show yesterday with that game, was waiting for OG Anunoby news. Hey, look, it's still questionable, but it's a hamstring strain for him. I doubt he is playing in this game. Would be shocked if he does. I didn't make a bet, though, yet. Just kind of looking at this. This is right now we're sitting at a 12-point adjustment for where we're at game 3. Now we're given a full 3 for home court. If we're thinking Embiid is back, you're thinking OG Anunoby is out.
Embiid is questionable.
Yeah, maybe you can square this number, but I think I got to wait till Embiid gets ruled in, and then I will be playing some of Philadelphia. If OG has been so great for them. Man, I think the Knicks the 76ers have an opportunity here in Game 3 to get one back.
And by the way, Luka for the Lakers, still unsure when he's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
When and if, I guess I should say. Paul Carr on the Prem. He's got a 3-pack of picks. That's next. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The guarantee? I hear it's massive.
They wouldn't do this unless it was something big.
There is no way it's that high.
I think it's even bigger.
It's huge. What? It's huge. Oh.
I'm down here at Circa, and I heard it's going to be gigantic. It's the biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
All right, guys. You're going to have to wait and see. The biggest pro football contests in the world are back. Visit circasports.com for more information.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Hey, Kelly Bidley, did you record your Just Win Bets Baby podcast episode?
I sure did.
How'd it go?
It was great. It was fantastic talking to the boys. Yeah.
What topics did you cover with them?
Oh, a little bit of NBA, a little bit of VSiN history.
Oh, nice.
Good history lesson on there.
All right. Well, we're talking about the Just Win Bets Baby podcast and what they do with their daily picks. 20 leagues, one mission, Just Win Bets Baby, your premier source for daily sports betting picks. They break down the data so you can bet with confidence across the entire sports calendar. If you scan the QR code on your screen or visit justwinbetsbaby.com today and start betting smarter with Just Win Bets Baby, the name says it all. Or not if you scan the QR code, but that's how you can get to their podcast and all their information at justwinbetsbaby.com. I don't know why we have hyphens in between the Just Win Bets Baby here on the promo, but you don't need hyphens. Just justwinbetsbaby.com.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to clear that up for everybody, especially for me. We get Tweet Speed of the Book. This is for John Balducci. Your line about Harden being 9th in career points sent me down a chat GPT rabbit hole. He says DeMar DeRozan has more career points than Steph Curry. Barely, but still.
Crazy.
Isn't that weird?
Yep.
I love stuff like that. PK Mountain Steel. Isn't positive regression the term for a driver actually completing a successful parallel park? Hey-oh. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Carr joins us now from Kansas City, Missouri. I believe it's Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. Where he was, I believe, on a panel, he told us. Paul Carr can be followed on Twitter at Paul Carr, C-A-R-R. He works at True Media Networks, spreading the gospel of analytics throughout the land. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Gil. Yes, Kansas City, Missouri. Did a soccer analytics panel here last night. The World Cup is coming, and people around here are starting to catch the fever.
Yeah, we are. It's funny being here right now. Like I don't sense it yet, but you know that 3-4 weeks from now, it's basically the most that we'll be talking about because the NBA will be in the finals. Stanley Cup will be in the final as well. Okay, where do we start? Let's update the Premier League table. Where do we stand at the top? What's going on?
Yep. So Arsenal's, they're in the driver's seat. They're minus 425 or so to win the title. They have a 5-point lead on Man City. It's a little deceptive because Man City has a game in hand. They have 4 games to play. Arsenal has 3. But yeah, I mean, as we've said for a while, this is Arsenal's to lose. And after City dropped points last week, again, if Arsenal blows this, it's a pretty epic choke job.
Yeah, 3 games left for Arsenal at 76 points. 4 games left for Man City at 71. I guess we have a little battle for the 4th Champions League spot. Liverpool, Aston Villa tied.
Well, we would.
Oh, it's not 4 anymore.
Premier League did. Right, they clinched the 5th spot. That's
right.
Official. So yeah, it would be. It's kind of the downside of that is you get stuff like this where Liverpool Villa would be a great battle for the last spot, but it's 5 because the Premier League did well enough in Europe, so they get an extra spot.
That's right.
So yeah, so there's a chance, Bournemouth or Brentford, but I think Bournemouth's plus 1,000, and it's just unlikely with only 3 games to play that you're going to make up those 6 points.
All right, so the real drama, if you will, who's going to finish 17th or 18th?
Yeah,
Tottenham and West Ham. This is for relegation. Tottenham with 37. Yep. Tottenham with 37 points with 3 to play. West Ham, the Irons with 36 with 3 to play. Oh boy, Tottenham gonna get out of this.
That's kind of looking like it. I mean, I think West Ham really is better or has been better this part of the year, but they've got a tough schedule. They're playing Arsenal this week. We'll talk about that. So yeah, Tottenham got a big win last week and West Ham lost. So suddenly West Ham is in the driver's seat, but I wouldn't rule out Tottenham here. If you want to sprinkle something to make the last few weeks entertaining, playing them to get relegated, I think is not too bad. They're priced around plus 350 or so. They could blow this.
Oh, one more thing before we get to your picks. Did you take note of Adam Silver? Did you notice this, Kelly, when they were giving us their new anti-tanking rules? That Adam Silver and the NBA had the audacity to refer to it as relegation. Did you see this?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Which I just thought, I was like, dude, this is not relegation. Stop with this, right? They were, what were they trying to say? That the bottom three teams, but you're not going down to the G League.
No, you're missing out on a ping pong ball.
You're missing out on a ping pong ball. Yeah. That's their version of relegation.
Well, because real relegation was brought up at one point, and it would be kind of awesome.
I thought it was disrespectful to the Prem.
Actual relegation would be unbelievable in U.S. sports. It will never happen, obviously, because of all the money owners have invested and all that, and I get it. But it would be unreal because seeing these you'd have major teams that would go down for, whatever reason. It happens in the Premier League where, West Ham was relegated a few years ago, and they're one of the 7 or 8 biggest clubs in England or something like that. So it would be unreal, and it will never happen.
Could you imagine the Washington Wizards destroying the Greensboro Swarm? It's like
traditional rivalry.
Traditional rivalry, yes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Utah Jazz against the Capital City Go-Go. Throw out the records when those two teams
some
play.
Of the thought and concern with it was if they were working in European teams. Was this a way to work in European clubs?
I could totally see Adam Silver trying those shenanigans. He loves that. All right, to the Prem. 3-pack of plays. What are we coming off of? How did we do last time?
We went 2-1 last week.
Okay. We like 2-1s. Moving the chains.
Grinding them out again.
What do you got tomorrow?
All right, we'll start with Liverpool-Chelsea. I mean, this is kind of the marquee matchup just from a big name standpoint, but Liverpool, they don't have a ton to play for. We talked about they haven't officially locked up a Champions League spot, but it's pretty close. I'm taking Liverpool to win this one, -115. This is more about Chelsea. They are a disaster. 6 games ago, they were in 5th place and favored to make Champions League, and now they are in 9th because they have not won a game. They haven't even drawn a game since then. Lost 6 in a row. 1 goal in those 6 games. And on one hand, like the number side of me, it's like, look, they should have like 8 expected goals in those games, and they've only scored 1. They've given up 5 more goals than their expected numbers, so they're running absurdly cold. On the other hand, look, Chelsea's allowing the best shots in the league, so that's obviously bad from a defensive standpoint, and they're taking the 2nd worst shots in the league. And if you are giving up high-quality shots, taking low-quality shots, your variance just gets wild, and that's what we're seeing in these games. So Chelsea is just playing awful. Liverpool, again, they're at home. They have something to play for a little bit just to wrap up that Champions League spot with a couple games left. So this is fairly straightforward, but just give me Liverpool to win this one at -115.
Wow. You said Chelsea scored 1 goal in that 6-game streak?
1 goal in 6 games. It was their worst stretch since, I don't know, it was like 100 years or something ridiculous for them.
Wow. Okay, then Brighton is taking on Wolverhampton. How you playing this?
Yep, here's the old take the better team, and in this case, take them to win by 1.5 goals. So Brighton lay the 1.5 goals, -130 against Wolves. Wolves has already been relegated. I think this is really a get-right spot for Brighton. They had kind of a bad performance against Newcastle last week, but Newcastle beat Brighton with their counterattacks. Wolves does not counterattack. They are like dead last in the league in shots and goals on the counter. And Brighton is still chasing a European spot, not necessarily Champions League, but Europa League, Conference League. So Wolves has been bad on the road also all season. Haven't won a game, but lost 3-0 at Leeds, lost 4-0 at West Ham the last couple games away. So I think the better team just dominates this one. Brighton puts up 2-3 goals and wins this one easily.
Against Wolves, not the Wolves. Wolves.
Right,
Brighton.
just Wolves.
Laying 1.5 goals against Wolves.
The Wanderers.
Yes. The Wanderers equals Wolves.
Yes, the Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. AKA the
Very
Wolves.
clear.
So Liverpool to beat Chelsea, Brighton laying 1.5 goals against Wolverhampton. That is tomorrow. Sunday, then you have a play as well.
Yeah, Arsenal unders. Arsenal unders have been cooking lately. West Ham Arsenal under 2.5 +120. We talked a few weeks ago how goal difference might decide the Premier League title. That's much less likely now. So Arsenal doesn't really have the motivation to run up the score. They just got to get the results, and they're going to be fine. But they've only scored more than 2 one time in the last 16 games in all competition. Mentioned their defense being the best in the world many times. They've given up the fewest shots, lowest shot quality in the Premier League all season. They're very organized. They keep you out of the box. And West Ham doesn't take a lot of shots themselves. They're 17th in the Premier League in total shots. So West Ham's fighting for relegation. They would love to get a point. Their best chance really is to keep things tight here. Maybe could they steal a 1-0 win? I suppose. But Arsenal, they just get up by a goal and just kind of grind it out. They're not looking to run up the score. I don't think they will here. So I have under 2.5 in this one at +120.
West Ham, Arsenal under 2.5 goals +120 on Sunday to round out the 3-pack. Before you go here, Paul, and we're going to talk, obviously, World Cup, ramping that up here as we approach. Begins June 11th. What's the story with the whole ticket situation at this point? Because I'm just sort of randomly seeing some stuff. Is it too expensive, or is the feeling that the tickets are just way out of whack and that they're going to come down in price towards the very end? What's the story with these?
Yeah, a couple things are going on. One is just like the secondary market. Some prices are just, wildly optimistic. I think that someone listed a ticket at the final for like $2 million, which obviously no one's going to pay, but it's just listed and now it's a story. But the way that FIFA has released the tickets has been very we'll say not transparent, to say the least. Just all these different stages where there's some tickets available. Now there's some more tickets available. Oh, wait, we have more tickets. Oh, we're going to lower the price, or we're going to raise the price. And there's just no consistency to how this is done. And I think FIFA maybe overestimated the market from a price standpoint and overpriced some things initially. And they're getting a lot of blowback now. I mean, even I think the president was chiming in on it this week, saying I wouldn't pay some of those prices. And he's pals with Gianni Infantino, the head of FIFA. So I don't know if that's going to do anything. But it's just been a big disaster because FIFA's trying to make as much money as possible.
As FIFA does. As they do. That's their thing. Paul, appreciate it. Enjoy Kansas City. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you.
Paul Carr, everybody. True Media Networks, where he has a very long title, but it's blocked for me by this camera stand, so I can never read it for everybody.
Czar.
Emperor. Coming back. Baseball race to 10 in May.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
It is a numbers game. Un partido de números. For those listening in Spanish. Gil Alexander. Kelly Midland. Producer number 9. So much more than a producer. Does it all around here.
See.
Bouncer. Speak Spanish. All that kind of stuff. We get tweets beating the book. This is from, I guess James Sott was reacting to your description of that Harden plays. He goes, you know what made that play worse? He pulls it back, then tries to back down Caden, turns the ball over.
James is exactly right. That is what happened.
Or was that the one in the last minute that I'm talking about where he turned the ball over?
No,
that was earlier. Yeah. This is from, let's see, Sean's Fox Plays. Besides the Sixers' money line tonight, hoping Embiid doesn't play, he says, all the hope or the cash is on the W tonight. He says, we have one team with 4 young, exciting, talented players who have no clue or desire to play defense. His plays, Mystics over 160.5. He's got Betts over 11.5 points, Kiki over 13.5. He's just throwing out plays.
I like it.
Listener plays.
Throw them out.
Falika's going to have some plays later on, some season longs, I believe, in addition. Darren Frazier, who says relegation doesn't exist in U.S. sports? Clearly you're not familiar with the Washington Generals, who have been relegated to be the Globetrotters' bald-headed stepchildren since the beginning of time. You should know better, Gil. Happy Friday, boys. Yeah, that's more of just the just the standard punching bag.
Right, yeah.
Mike Zhang, thanks, Gil, for the super clarification on Brighton Wanderers -1.5 versus Wolves. Felt like a drama class. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to follow, Mike. Lucky Luciano, do you guys have any college baseball cappers or a place to go? Yes, we do. CollegeBaseballInsiders.com, our buddy Matt Grissom.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the first person I'd point you to. And you know who loves college baseball? Jensen Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave Ross on By the Books, which precedes us. They love their college baseball as well, so you should check them out. How about the MLB May most wins update after yesterday? The Tampa Bay Rays and the Chicago Cubs ain't losing games. They're both 7-0 to start the month of May. Look at those run differentials. Not really that amazing, right? But they've just grinded out wins, especially the Cubs in dramatic fashion. Yankees right behind them at 6-1. And then you see Pirates, Royals, Phillies all 5-2. And then the Braves, Mets, Red Sox, Guardians all with 4 wins. That's where it stands. Our Mariners 2-4. They were idle yesterday as they take on the White Sox in Chicago tonight here in early May. Now, Danny does a great job. Danny Higgins, Danny. How about a Fresca? Danny does a great job looking at, listen, Kelly is the professional scourer. Danny is his apprentice scourer. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah. He's starting to scour more.
Yeah. But so we love the granular, we love the micro baseball betting markets, whether it's monthly, 1st to 10, last undefeated. Remember we did it? Last undefeated, where we dead heated with the Blue Jays with 3 wins to begin the season. Nobody got to 4-0. So we love this stuff. And so Danny found MLB race to 10 wins in May.
It's great.
Now, keep in mind it is May 8th. So as we just documented, as we just showed you, Rays and Cubs already have 7 wins. They're 3 shy of 10. Yankees 4 shy. You get the idea. We just went through it. So in this market, then, you see the reflected odds of this is the race to 10. Who's the first club to get to 10 wins? And it makes sense that the Rays and Cubs, who are the closest to getting there, 3 games shy, 3 wins shy, have the shortest odds. So now I spent a good, I would say, a half hour on this morning, because I went through all the teams that had 7, 6, 5, and 4 wins. Listen, if you have less than 4 wins, forget about it.
Yeah, even 4.
But let's talk about the 4 wins. Let's do it on the way up, and I do have a bet here. The 4-win teams, which are Guardians, Mets, Braves, and Red Sox. Guardians are 40-1. Mets, Braves, Red Sox are all 45-1. Look at their schedule here. The Mets, Braves, and Red Sox all have an off day on Monday. Remember, that is key to this handicap, because this market doesn't care about your off days. They don't. That's just a negative for you in this bet. So if you've only got 4 wins, you're 3 behind the leaders, and you have an off day coming in these next stretch of days. Yeah, probably not a bet even at those long odds. Now, the 1 4-win team that doesn't have an off day, the Guardians, 3 versus the Vikings, 3 versus the Twins at home, 3 versus the Angels at home, next 6 days. But you still have to run pure, right, to overcome the teams that are 3 wins, 2 wins, and 1 win ahead of you. And I just don't think the Guardians are good enough to run pure in all of this. Guardians just hanging around 500 for most of the season thus far. So I'm not betting the Guardians at 40-1 with their 4-3 record. Now, if we go to the 5-win teams, all of them, Kelly, have an off day on Monday. So the Phillies at 22-1, they play 3 at home versus Colorado, then an off day on Monday, and then 3 at Boston. The Pirates, this might interest some people at 28-1, 3 at San Francisco, an off day Monday, then 3 versus the Rockies at home. Royals 30-1, 3 versus Detroit, off day Monday, 3 at the White Sox. So again, you're still 2 wins back of the leaders, and you have an off day on Monday, regardless of who you play. So I know people love the long number, but this is such a micro bet right now in such a short period of time. Can't do it. Which brings us to the top. Rays, Cubs, Yankees. Well, the Cubs have an off day on Monday. And the 6 games they have, the 3 games that bookend that on each side, for the Cubbies, as great as the Cubs have been, who won 9 in a row, but it's 3 at Texas, it's an off day, and then it's 3 at Atlanta. I know we could go further, but I just wanted to do the next 2 series for this, because that's how quickly this is going to go. I can't do that. With an off day Monday and then 3 at Atlanta on the other side of that, can't play the Cubs.
Yeah, even if you're looking at teams further down here, right? Like that's as far out as you should project, right?
Yes.
It's not one of these teams is getting there before then.
Which brings us to the Rays and the Yankees. The Rays are 7-0. They don't have an off day on Monday. It's 3 at Boston this weekend. Then they start a 3-game set at Toronto on Monday. The Rays only need to win. If the Rays win 3 at Boston, this is over.
Mm-hmm.
But they're plus 150, and this just in. They're the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, I know they're playing great baseball, but I'm not betting them at plus 150, which brings us to the 6-1 Yankees at plus 475. This, ladies and germs, is the bet for me. Yankees don't have an off day on Monday. They're 3 at Milwaukee this weekend. I know, it's Milwaukee. It's tough, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 at Milwaukee. Then it's 3 at Baltimore. They're on the road for all 6. But 1 game behind the leaders. You got to go 4-2 here, right? To get to 10 by the end of those 6 and overcome the Rays and Cubs. And specifically with the Yankees, you get Fried tonight, you get Schlittler tomorrow, and then game 6 of those 6 games we projected forward, you get Fried again. I don't mean Fried from Shackles. I mean Max Fried is what I mean.
Got it, yep.
Fried, Schlittler, ... Fried, if you need a game 6. To me, the Yankees at 6-1 at plus 475, the absolute play. This is available at DraftKings. That's how I would play that. If only we had this market here in Nevada.
Yeah.
That to me is clearly the play. That's a pretty generous price, one win behind
only one
with those
win back.
pitchers going.
I like it.
Yeah. But I think everything else, I know most of these markets are like, hey, you looking for a long shot? Yeah. This is over by Monday. This is over by, Wednesday of next week. So I don't think you can do it.
You got Yankees, I mean, just for today, and right, it's like the way you put it, right? Micro futures or whatever. This is like there's 3 games potentially, Rays, Cubs, and this could be over. So Yankees minus 131 today in their game with Fried on the mound. As you said, the Rays plus 113, so our slight dogs in Boston. And then the Cubs are minus 143.
Yeah, they should be a favorite. Yep. But at Texas, I'm higher on Texas than most.
I know you are, yep.
I think there's a DeGrom game in there, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that, but I believe there is.
I was thinking about that when you brought up the Pirates. Like, how many times are you going to get Skeens? But he just pitched, 2 days ago?
Yeah. The problem with the Cubs is they have the off day on Monday. So the Yankees will get 4 tries at this while you get 3 tries of it through Monday. So it's kind of in terms of opportunities, unless the Cubs can sweep, it's kind of even Steven on that count.
Yeah.
And again, Fried and Schlittler, and I think Warren might be in there as well. So Rodon on Sunday. Pardon me. Thank you, Danny. Carlos Rodon's return on Sunday. So there you go, even better.
I'm with you, and it's also not only is it the bet to me, I guess, it's also like the only bet. I just don't think you're getting...
It's the only bet.
Right? Like,
it's
I don't
the
think
only
you're
bet to
getting
make.
long enough numbers on those 5-win teams.
Okay, I'll say it again. You could lose. To me, it's the only bet you make.
Right, yeah. Yep.
I love that. Nice job, Danny, for finding that one. And nice job, DraftKings, for keep on putting this stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they do the adjusted monthlies as well.
Mm-hmm.
They never seem to go down. We haven't given up on the Mariners yet, but they're on the outside looking in. So there you go. DraftKings MLB Race to 10 wins in May. What we'll try to do in June, as Danny said, we'll try to get to this earlier in the month of June than the 8th day as we're doing here. Although on the other hand, when it's this close to 10,
it's kind of fun.
It's kind of more fun because it's more clear. You can wrap your arms around it that much better. And plus 475, not negligible. It's pretty